I'm Denis Dorval, Chief Operating Officer at DueDil. Sure, I grew up in France, and that's where I started my career as a software developer in the early 90s. So at the time, internet was not exactly that well known and no smartphones. It was an interesting time. I had the opportunity after that to move to Asia. So where I spent 7 years and mostly working for implementation of software projects for customs in various countries there. Decided to come back to go to Europe in the late 90s. I had the ability to found a software company, learned a lot at the time. And then I decided in the early 2000s to start working more for well-established and software US companies, and also some in the UK. Mostly then in frontline positions, more like VP of sales or general managers for the EMEA, Europe, Middle East, Africa theater. That was really, really interesting over the 2000s, and I did that actually for the last two companies were Alfresco, UK-based company, open source, content management, disrupting that market. And then more recently, I had the opportunity to do that for B.I.G, a US-based company specialized in API management. And we had the fortune of being acquired by Google. So I spent the last 2 years before joining DueDil at Google in the Google Cloud division. So I guess that makes me reasonably well-rounded executive in the software industry because I have done virtually all the possible jobs. Well, before I contemplate the possibility of joining a new company, I always look at three things. And those things are the market opportunity, the size of the market. I look then at product. As you have gathered, I'm technology backgrounding. For me, the product is going to be key to the success of any sort of a company in the software industry. And then I look at the people. I've learned over the years that it's extremely important to build, fast and strong bonding, with people you work with or for. And I have to say that I've been impressed, by the opportunity across those three dimensions at DueDil, and that's why I have joined. Also the possibility to contribute to, call it disrupt the market, or create also adjacencies on this market that DueDil is serving. That was really, really appealing for me. Okay, so obviously there is a business side, operations of DueDil, i.e. That means all the go-to-market functions from sales and through to customer success, and ensuring that we have the right systems and processes to make sure that our customers are happy, that they extract as much value as they can from the platform, and that they also help us grow our community of customers by being great references for us. So that's really extremely core to my job, ensuring that we have those systems and processes in place so that we deliver on our promise. And also we have the ability and capability to enlarge our community of customers, and that will be more messaging, positioning, and that we have also a right process to engage with the market out there and acquire new customers with a clear value proposition and a way to deliver on that. With that, I have also learned that without people you can't do much. And one important part of my job is to look throughout the business operations and client-facing functions and teams and how we can develop those people, give them the right opportunities so that they can grow. We have a lot of talent here at DueDil, and I'm spending a lot of time building and growing the team around me and that are in front of our customers out there in the market. So that's about it, and it's quite a bit, I would say. Sure, that's my favorite topic, but as a native cloud software provider, our differentiator comes from the platform we have built. We call it the Business Information Graph, i.e. the DueDil B.I.G. And the SME space we're addressing in terms of the information we provide is a very dynamic, huge in size, in terms of number of companies out there, and quite messy, frankly, when it comes to making sense of all that information you may need to access before deciding whether you want to engage with an SME or sell them services. And the volume of new information, the pace of decay, all that makes it a very significant challenge. And being able to make connections between millions and sometimes up to billions of data and information points on those SMEs is actually non-trivial. Actually, it was not possible until recently. The technology to master that type of scale and being able to render the information within milliseconds is really only 10 to 12 years old, not much more really. And the way you can manage this is through building a graph of information as opposed to just a database. And the graph and the underlying technology allows you to do mostly two things. Create connections between data information points at scale not known before. I.e., you can scale up to millions, billions of data points. You can connect without breaking the IT house, so to speak, as long as you use the right cloud technology and stack and design for that. And that helps us, DueDil in particular, deliver insights at scale and deliver those unseen connections to our customers, which are extremely valuable for them. The second aspect is that it is built with speed in mind. It's pointless to have a lot of data, try to create insights if you cannot render that within milliseconds at the point of consumption, whether it is a web application or through an API, application programming interface. And that's what the technology we have built, again, back to the graph design, helps us do. We are in a position to scale almost infinitely in terms of the information we can absorb, the connections we can build, while still rendering the insights this creates within milliseconds for our customers to consume. And maybe I can use two analogies here. What we have done with our business information graph around the SMEs is quite similar to what, from a technology standpoint, Facebook has done with the consumer, the social graph. And DueDil has done the exact same thing for the SME information universe. And we're very proud of that. And that's really what makes us different out there.